I want to look at a couple of different things inside of Carlson Survey. Number one is the import and export capability of the program, specifically when dealing with raw survey data type files. And go to the Survey menu and edit process raw data files. What I want to look at is the ability to import and export data files. As you can see, there are dozens of options for importing and exporting: CNG, LandXML, Fieldbook, SDMS, SMI, TDS, TopCon, Trimble. Same thing on the export. What I'm going to do is I'm going to import an FBK file or Fieldbook file. This would be the same type file used for Civil 3D or Land Development Desktop. Now in this particular case, the beginning two occupy points or the occupy point and backside point were stored as descriptions or as notes in the file. So the first thing I need to do is I need to come in and add a point. I'm going to add point number 1. The northing is 5,000, 5183.045, and the elevation is 632.05. My description is Trav. And then what I'll do is I'll add a second point. Add point, blank point record. This is point number 2. Point number 2 is 5,000, 5,000, elevation 632.06, and the description is also Trav. Now the data is in and ready to go. If I wanted to add any more information or change things such as instrument height or rod heights, I could go through and begin making those changes now. I'm going to accept this as is, and I'm going to process with no adjustment. Simply reduce the raw angles and distances into coordinates. And then I'm given a report that I can save, print, or place as text on the screen. I'm going to save my raw file. And I'm going to save the CRD file. Now, in both cases, these files were non-existent. So for my raw file, for example, I imported the FBK. Any changes I make in here don't affect the original file. It's an import. I'll exit. If I were to go to points, list points, I'll now see all of the points that were in the file added. From the survey menu, I could draw field to finish. And what I'll do is I will do a code table based on the CRD file. Simply append the file that's here and use what we have. Okay, this is just a quick way to get the code library in. If I wanted, I could begin editing these. So I could change the symbol, the layers, the colors, or any other settings that need to be changed, including whether or not line work is drawn. I'll save that, tell it to draw all the points, and hit OK. With a little modification, we can get it to begin drawing line work by setting up the codes properly, or matching the FBK and Carlson, matching Carlson to the FBK or matching the FBK to Carlson one way or the other. But we can begin to get the line work drawn in and things automated a little bit better for us, so that when we do go in and triangulate and contour, and we look at that existing tin, it begins to take a little bit better shape. All of the 3D break lines that are used will be treated as break lines. So if it's a 3D polyline on the screen, it will be used as a break line, and no additional effort has to be made to telling the program that this is a break line and it should be treated accordingly. So that's how we can take the FBK file, import it, process it, and draw the points.